welcome back to the morning show here on Rise News. Joining us now on the show to discuss SME scaling is Senior Manager in the Deal Advisory and Private Equity Group at KPMG Nigeria, Dolapo Adeosun. With over 12 years experience as an investment professional, Dolapo has advised on significant multi-million-dollar transactions, including equity and debt capital raising, mergers and acquisitions, capital restructuring and IPOs across different sectors. And she's here with us today to provide valued insight on how to raise capital as a small or medium-sized business. Welcome to the morning show.
Welcome to the morning show.
Yeah.
It's great to be talking to you. I'll just say that.
Yes,
we're here to learn.
Yes, learn so much. Now, you're a senior manager in the deal and advisory and private equity sector at KPMG, but obviously that didn't happen overnight. So, what advice would you have for viewers who are trying to get into that sector, into that industry, into mergers and acquisitions and finance? What advice would you give to them? And also tell us a bit about how you got to the stage that you're at now.
Okay, so I joined KPMG as an analyst 12 years ago. I'd say the most important thing or the starting point would be getting a great university degree. So I think everybody that wants to consider a career like this needs to balance the great university experience with putting in the hard work to get a good degree. Most organizations like KPMG have a minimum qualification that's required. So getting into KPMG, the requirements for success and you know, going through the ranks is hard work. Putting in the work to learn, just a lot of hard work, really. That's the ingredients, that's the key to success.
All right, so as you've transitioned in your career, how would you say your day-to-day activities have changed, you know, to now apply to your specific role at KPMG?
So, like I mentioned, I joined as an analyst. At that stage, what you're doing is just following and learning and just following what the more senior colleagues ask you to do. And all the time you need to be learning and soaking up knowledge. But as you progress in your career, you start to take a more leadership role. So you start leading teams to ensure, you know, client engagements are delivered and things like that. But as a senior manager now, I've moved from just leading teams to now, you know, interfacing with clients. It's important that I build relationships. It's important that I bring in the deals, originating deals. So there's a lot more responsibility being the face of KPMG with your clients as well as executing the engagements.
Right.
Amazing. So what would you say are some of the major keys to actually raising successful capital successfully?
Yes, with regards to I think it's very important that entrepreneurs understand their business plan and they're able to communicate that business plan. Investors want to know that you know what their money is going to be put towards. They want to be sure that when they give you the money, they're going to make a return on it. And for them to make that return on it, you need to demonstrate what your strategies are. There's a market, the market's growing. You need to show them the numbers. And it's very important that that business plan is as credible as possible because they're going to be critiquing the business plan. In addition to that, what's also very important is your track record. So it's important that companies keep financial records. Investors don't want to invest in a business and find out one day or 2 days after they've invested that it wasn't complete. There's actually a liability somewhere and my investment's all wiped out. So it's very important that you keep financial records. Two other things that are very critical is, you know, credibility of whoever's raising the funds, whoever is running this business. I need to be sure that you're credible. I need to be sure that you know the story you're telling me and you're going to follow through on what you've told me you're going to use the money for. And last but not least is management experience. It's very important. When an investor is putting money into your business, they're backing management. They're backing management to deliver on a promise, essentially, because at that stage, it's still just a promise.
Right. So now I know with a lot of small businesses, raising capital is like a big thing. You know, they start off with the little that they have, and then they start thinking to scale, to expand, and then they start thinking how to raise capital. And the first thing that comes to mind is usually family and friends, obviously, but then you get to a stage where you want more. So what value is there working with an advisor like KPMG, you know? And do you even cater to small businesses? I keep thinking like KPMG is for like the established big businesses, multinationals, corporates, all of that. But an SME who has been in business, say, maybe 2 years and is looking to scale, is there value in me coming to, would you even attend to me, first of all? And what value will I get working with an advisor like KPMG?
Okay, so I'll start with, working with an advisor and why you should work with an advisor. It's very important that you have a strategy for your financing. You need to know how much you want to raise, what form you want to raise it. Is it debt? Is it equity? And then you need to understand you need to understand how to approach the market. I mentioned the business plan. It's very important that you know what the investors are looking for. And so you present a document that actually takes their criteria without them having to come back and forth to you, seeking clarification or just not even going forward after they've seen the documentation. I think one of the really important things to working with an advisor is, you can face your day-to-day business and just leave the advisor who's experienced at handling investors and talking to investors to actually take that up. With regards to KPMG, yes, we do work with small and medium and large corporates. I think the services that we provide to them will vary, obviously. If it's a company that's been in business for 2 years, if you have a great story, if you have a great business that that is sellable, yes, come to KPMG and we will work with you.
Amazing. I'm happy to hear that. We'll be visiting.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All the entrepreneurs out there, I'm sure they've picked up some key nuggets from what you said this morning.
Yeah. So where can we find you? Social media?
Social media, KPMG. Nigeria, we are Instagram, Twitter handles.
Amazing.
Yes.
And you're responsive?
We're responsive. Yes. Okay. And our website as well. So feel free to drop us an email. We have a contact email on our website as well.
Nice. Thank you, Dolapo. That's all from Dolapo Adeosun, Senior Manager Corporate Finance at KPMG. When we return, we'll be talking to Senior Manager Strategy and Markets at KPMG, Torera Banjo. Don't go away.